I will present basically on the topic of how can art and new technologies commemorate or add to the historical events through the not just Malta Museum of Transitory Art showcase, but basically through the Monument Group, which is basically working with exactly this cultural heritage and new technologies. Can I share screen with you? Let's see. Yes.
Так, я думаю, так.
Yes, I believe so.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So I would basically give two examples of Monument Group and the Monument Project. Monument Group is a multidisciplinary research artistic group that works in the field of architecture, public space, cultural heritage, but also art and new media. And it consists of, from left to right, of architect Nika Grabar, architect and theoretician Miloš Kosec, me, myself, Martin Bricelj Baraga, and visual artist Nea Tomšić. And basically, yes, basically Monument, as the name says, it deals with kind of non-existing monuments, erased monuments, forgotten monuments, and so on. It deals with actually 20th century public spaces, monuments, and architectures that have lost their original meaning or symbolic meaning because of social and political changes. And for more info, maybe readers or viewers will be interested. You can go to the monument.org website, and we have a database. So far, we have covered Central European countries such as Slovenia, Austria, Czech Republic, Serbia, Bulgaria, and Cyprus. But we are also planning to work on Ukraine. So definitely Chernobyl will be one of the sites of interest, of big interest. But maybe I would present like two actions that that show the methodology, artistic and research methodology, and use of new technologies as well. First is basically McKeldin Fountain, which was the first monument action, which we did together with Nea Tomšić and two American artists, Lisa Moran and James Mayhew, in Baltimore, in United States. And the story of Monument One, McKeldin Fountain, is basically this fountain that was in the center of Baltimore. That's basically was a very beautiful piece of architecture. It was something between a park, a fountain, a sculpture even, a living sculpture. And it was why it's important, because basically it's located in the center of the city, and it was designated as a free speech zone. So, for example, you could stage a protest there, you could make a manifestation in the very center. So it was very important for many people from Baltimore, for many different civil groups. And it's also known, very known spot, because it was like after first killing of black Afro-American by police, the Freddie Gray, the protests started there. Black Lives Matter started there. Occupy Baltimore started there. Women of Baltimore. So you have a lot of really important groups, and it's an important public space. And due to this, obviously, and also because of the state of the fountain, the city of Baltimore decided to demolish it. Few years ago in 2017, and basically then we staged like a lot of with the theater festival there. We staged like also a protest against the dismantling of this fountain, and ironically, it was dismantled. Then it was destroyed on the 1st of November. And what we did as a artistic group, because at that time we still didn't have drones and laser scanners and everything else that we use now for basically archiving and preserving monuments. We were actually joined by a group of students of architecture from Baltimore, and basically made a sketch of this. I can show you of this memorial. We made like we were basically scanning by just measuring and combining with map, because usually this kind of maps are not existing anymore. So we were yes, we measured the whole fountain, and we created a 3D model, which was serving as a base for the application that we realized. So basically, now the fountain is not there in this space, but it exists as a augmented reality application. You can download it both for the Androids and iPhones, and basically it looks like this. I mean, you can go in the fountain, you can go through the fountain with your iPad or iPhone or Android phone, and you can explore the stories of fountain by walking through it. And then inside the fountain, you can also hear or discover stories of activists or people that were living with this fountain. So, for example, here we have Laura Lucero and Margaret Musgrove from Women in Black. You have also many other people, even DDM, important rapper from Baltimore. And on the other hand, this staging this let's say application or the iPads starts to be an act of protest on the site. So yeah, this is one example of the action that we did, and then the other activity or the other action was 2 years ago. It was called From Nowhere to No Place, Pioneer Railway. I don't know how you say in Ukrainian, but we say Pionierska železnica, so Pioneer Railway. The story of pioneer railways comes from basically from Soviet Union, from the times of after Second World War. And actually the pioneer railways were, I guess you had it also in Kiev, or maybe you still have it. We will have this in questions and answers.
Так, є таке.
Yes, you have, huh? And,
yes, we still have it.
So it was like an educational tool for the new generations to learn about how to build or how to manage the society or the country. And so in Ljubljana, we had, that's why we named From Nowhere to No Place. Our pioneer railway started to be built in 1948. And it was built very much in this non-planned way. It was like it had to be fast, it had to be immediately, and it was built very fast, but with no real plan. It went from nowhere really to no place. And first it was really like very, there was a lot of enthusiasm. People went there, people, you know, were really enthusiastic about it. But since it didn't have the original purpose was that it would go around the city, that it would have also like connecting to the zoo, or that it would have some interesting sites. But it went just from close to my place, close to my home, to another place. So it's like just the hills and no, just the let's say empty fields. So in the end, actually, it became quite public lost interest, and after 5 years, it was basically closed down. Even after the conflict of of Yugoslavia with Stalin, with Soviet Union, it started to be a lost case. But one of the interesting things is with Monument Group, we usually work with stories of people. It's not only about this, let's say, how the monuments look like, but what they mean, what they were meaning for people that were living in that place. So basically, right now, I will show you how it looks right now. Basically, right now, the Pioneer Railway is just a bike path in the woods. It's used by many people. They're going with their bikes there, but nobody knows that it was Pioneer Railway. So what we did was basically on 25th of May, 3 years ago, we made this reenactment, or like a sound walk, or let's say like a theater play, with performers, and people would be equipped with headphones and players, and they would walk this the Pioneer Railway, and actually hearing the stories of real pioneers. So we connected with the people that were building and managing the Pioneer Railway. Now they are grandfathers, grandmothers. They're not like so young anymore. And it's very interesting because, of course, with this dealing with socialist past, some people really, you know, they like the past of Yugoslavia. Some people were against it. But the story of Pioneer Railway is very important part of their identity, and they're all like really into it, and they gather every year. And so this was really interesting process to work with these people, and basically catching the stories, making this narration that was written by Nea in the end, and basically transfer it or present it to younger audiences of Ljubljana. And basically, yeah, so this is some of the shots from our walk. Basically now, even like we try to commemorate this event, because 25th of May, when we did this walk in the woods of Ljubljana, is symbolical for us, because it was birth date of Tito, our former Yugoslavia president. So 25th of May was also Day of the Youth. And actually, 1 year after this commemoration, we also did exhibition about it in the City Museum of Ljubljana. And then even this year, on the 25th of May, we opened the exhibition, new monument exhibition by in the Museum of Architecture and Design. And we showed actually this specific story of Pioneer Railway in Center for Contemporary Culture in Dnipro in June this year. So actually it's ready to show somewhere else in Ukraine. It's now there, the exhibition stays there. So I guess my time is nearly up, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for your presentation and for your involvement. Your project is really interesting, and in Ukraine we also have, you know, stories like Pioneer Railroad and a lot of monuments after our Soviet past, and Chernobyl also. It's looking not only like monument, no, it's like one of the symbol of the Ukraine, and even we our nation are built around it. The understanding on what is Ukraine, what is to be Ukrainian. So Soviet past and the rethinking of the Soviet past, it's really important for us. I have a question about your project about this Pioneer Railroad. When you was planned this project, what do you think about your audience? Who it must be, and what do you plan? How they can participate with your project?
So when we planned it, actually, I mean, this was pretty open because we were planning the project with a very popular festival. It's called Lightning Guerrilla Festival, which is festival of lights in public spaces. So as you can see, also we used a lot of lights in our actually we staged it so when people walked, the whole woods was enlightened with different lights, so it was kind of movie setting or somehow. And actually what you see is also pioneers from the future, so-called. So it was very open actually, because also these pioneers came and their families came, but also our main audience, I would say, it's students and then people from, I don't know, 30 to 50. It was very open, but actually the problem with such projects is also like availability in a way. Like so, this was like a one-off project, and after the let's say the enactment or after the walk, it was not possible to repeat it in the same manner. So now we are really thinking of making like an automated version where solar panel sensors would have lights, and we would make an app so people could just walk through it any time of the day. But yeah, we applied it to tourist agency of Ljubljana. It was not successful, the application for now, but we are still planning to work on it. But yes, I would say that since we created a story or a narrative that it's in a form of radio play, even kids were going for this walk, and I think it's like we try to spread the message or spread the story to the most broad audience as possible. It's not really just for artistic audiences, let's say.
Yes, why I ask about it, because it's similar to the Chernobyl, because in this topic we also have, you know, wide audience who that we need to involve in this project in the topic of Chernobyl, and also we have audience of the liquidators who have connections with this topic in the past. So it's like your story about this railroad, because you have these old pioneers, you know, and they have a lot of remember about this time, you know, and connection. It's really heartful sometimes, and really interesting to see how they what they think about that after a lot of years. Also, I want to ask you about what think audience in Slovenia about Soviet times? Did they, you know, regret about that, or they tried, you know, to remember something good, that trees was, you know, more green, and water was more tasty in that time, or something else?
Yes, I mean, Slovenia is very divided society, I would say, more and more, even today. It's very crazy for me that people who run this country, like politicians, are using this. So you have like, I think I would say like more than half people that really appreciate the previous system. For us, we refer to it as a Yugoslav system, not like Soviet. We had our own, let's say, version of socialism, which was basically, well, it was quite, of course, freedom of speech. There was not like full freedom of speech. You could get also in jail for saying something against the government or the president. But we had quite soft version of socialism, because you could travel also to Italy or Austria for getting some goods. People could go to holidays for a month long, you know. I mean, this doesn't happen anymore in capitalism in a way. You have all the choices, but you don't have so much time. So basically, people are starting to also appreciate, of course, values that were common in the previous system. But you have also very big, let's say, very big sentiment against that time. So basically, our whole contemporary politics, instead of being like really focused on innovative solutions in business culture, whatever it is, it's still based on this division between previous system, let's say, like kind of left-wing parties and the new right-wing parties that were against previous system. So it's like, yeah, that is definitely the situation here. But I think new generations more and more are fed up with this division of society, and yeah, hopefully new parties are coming and new movements. But was that the question? I can answer.
Yes, about that, yes. Because in Ukraine we have similar situation.
Так, і ми маємо ще одне запитання з залу.
We have one more question from the audience, please.
Так,
So my question is your possible Chernobyl project. So I would like to ask you, so the final result of that project, do you plan to attract more people, more tourists, more visitors to the Chernobyl area, or maybe something in opposite, you know, to prevent that process? I mean, visiting Chernobyl as a place of danger, maybe, you know. Thank you. Sorry for my English, not so perfect.
This is question for me?
Yes, is this question for you?
Yes.
Yes, they asking about if you will do something about Chernobyl. What the main idea of that, and what do you think about? You want to involve the people? Do you want to involve people to the Chernobyl, or you will ask about the zone is restricted or something like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I can answer clearly to this question, because usually as a group, or even me as a artist, I usually have to go to the location and see and feel and talk to people. And basically I was never in Chernobyl, and I've been in Ukraine only to Dnipro. But if we would be engaged, let's say, non-human group, if we would come there, what we usually do, the methodology is that we work with local people, especially local researcher that knows a bit more about context, stories, you know, art historical or just historical data, and then probably we would find a better way how to present it, or what kind of form it would take. For now, yes, we would be interested to work on this, and obviously I wouldn't say, from my intuition, I wouldn't say, oh no, don't go there, or don't think about it. We need to think about this kind of stories. We need to spread the awareness about this kind of phenomena. I would just mention also that I didn't watch the Chernobyl series, but I've been to a concert of Hildur Gudnadottir, the Iceland cellist, and the visual artist Teresa Baumar, they did incredible job just artistically expressing this phenomena, but very abstract. I've seen it in ex crematorium in Berlin 2 years ago. It was a beautiful piece of art, let's say. But I would say, yes, we are interested to work on this topic, and I would definitely involve local people that were living within the area, that still live probably through creative manner, so people can see something else maybe than just the cliche stories about it. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
So if you never be in Ukraine, so you're welcome. You know, we will be really happy to see you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your participation.